Welcome back. GText Holdings is a Nigerian bond conglomerate with special interest in real estate, branding, finance and investment, as well as digital marketing. GText Holdings have since grown across the globe in the last 15 years. GText Holdings is 15. This is a company that started with, listen to this, this is a company that started with bulk SMS services with an initial capital of 1,000 naira, but has diversified into other sectors, as I mentioned earlier. To commemorate its 15th anniversary, one of its subsidiaries is forging ahead with property and real estate development in Dubai to build 180 units of two-bedroom apartments. How did the founder achieve this inspirational feat? What were the challenges faced by this company? No better person to ask these questions than the man himself that went through the crucibles of fire, the founder and chairman of GText Holdings, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. He joins me now. Dr. Akintayo, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm very well. Congratulations on your crystal anniversary. So you are,
Thank you.
congratulations again. What a feat. Let's get started because for people that listen to my introduction, they'll be wondering, Nancy, where are you coming from this morning? How did this man, you're saying he started a business 15 years ago with 1,000 naira. What was 15 years ago? Really? That should be 2000
2008.
2008.
2008. Yeah.
Yes, 2008. I'm wondering what exchange rate was around that time. Perhaps like 100 naira. Also, yeah, you know what inflation rate.
About,
Yeah,
about $10 actually.
yes, you know. So,
Yeah.
so how did you do it? No, no, no. Let me not even come to how did you do it. How do you feel? How do you feel? How do you feel speaking with me today? Did you see
I'm
yourself
good.
coming this far?
Good. I mean, we thank God. All I could just say is God is faithful. It's important to know that it was a bulk SMS company. So we're one of the earliest people to start selling SMS in bulk. And it was a big deal because, at that time, there was no anti-spam law. So you could get database of people and just shoot adverts to them. And it became a major strategy for marketing, particularly for small businesses. SMS has 98% open rate. So you can target certain people you can and we initially did not have our own website. So the 1,000 naira I paid someone who had the website. I also didn't have a laptop. So I went to a cyber cafe where I then had to send, some of us don't even know what cyber cafe is.
Mhm.
And then send the clients, because the clients, gave me 700 naira. I added 300 naira to it. And they had this seminar. They needed me to send SMS to their database, inviting them. So went to the cafe and then said, and then before you know it, 2 clients, 3 clients. Later, I was able to afford our own website. And then later, we started doing website for other people to start the business and make money for themselves. But we are behind it, but nobody would know because in their own website, in their own domain name. And then, of course, by 2015, we had already had Chivita, PZ, all the political parties were clients, and then we moved into real estate, and the rest is history.
Now, for people watching you right now and they are hearing this story, some people may not actually believe what you're also saying because at the beginning you did say, oh, we thank God for how far we have gone. And I've heard a lot of
Mm.
things, especially when I listen to people that have really grown, that have grown their businesses and they are multimillionaires, they are billionaires right now. People will say that an average successful businessman, an average successful Nigerian businessman does not really give you the the secrets to his success. They will say, oh, thank God, now God do am. Now I heard you say, is it Chivita and all those companies? The other question will be, how did you have access? Because your success can also be determined by the people you know, or even the people that are able to open doors for you. So can you speak to us about that? So we're a bit more realistic. We're a bit more, we look at a bit more how God really does these things for people.
The truth is that in my own case, I'm an exception, right? Everything is in several books I've written. And so and then you can just Google my name. In fact, you can Google Akintayo 2008, Akintayo 2000. You will see the story. You see how terrible I look. You see the first offices. So I think one of the good thing about my story was I was privileged to have evolved when internet was there, and I was documenting it. So we take picture today, we do this. So the stories are there, and people who also know me from way back and tell you, oh, we know that story. But how did I get big clients to do business with me? For me, one of the thing was it's funny if I say poverty. So I'd opened our first office in Ikeja, and to show you how much I believe this office will work, it was my first corporate office. I was living in Songwater, right? Because I couldn't afford to live in the same Ikeja, but yet I put all my money into opening an office. I would still take Molue from Ikeja to Songo, was where I live because I could get cheaper accommodation there. If I had days I couldn't even afford the 200 naira for Molue and I had to sleep in my office, and Mosquito designed me. It was a one-room office with a balcony. My reception was. But at the end of 2012, we had run into debt without borrowing money. We couldn't renew our rent. We're representing a particular university, they canceled on us. And so some of the people who applied for that university said they wanted their money back. So I was back to operating from my house, and of course having so much refund issues. And at some point I felt it was spiritual. I prayed, I fasted. In fact, there's nothing I didn't do.
Mm.
So one day I decided to say, you know what? And that's why you can't remove the God factor in my own story. I said, I've done all this prayer and all manner, nothing has worked. Fasting, I was just thank God. So I did a video just praising God. And that was the day I knew the Holy Spirit is a businessman. And he asked me a question: how much profit are you making from this, your SMS? The profit margin was barely 10%. Okay. And you have all these debts you needed to pay. Okay. Why not? How about your bulk database? So remember, no anti-spam law. So you could buy a database of people in local government by local government, entrepreneurs, like a phone book, right? And say this database, you buy it once, but it becomes your asset for life and you have 100% profit on it. Why not change your marketing strategy from trying to sell SMS, which everybody is doing as well, to being the main guy when it comes to targeted database? And that was really what turned the story around. Another strategy that came to me that night was you have this email. I had this email of almost 1 million entrepreneurs, CEOs, and all of that. I bought it online. And that there was this company called Target Hero. You could send off free 5,000 emails. So I'll go to Cyber Cafe because the IP address can only open 2 accounts for free. And I don't even have money to pay. So I'll go to 20 cyber cafes to open an account. They upload 5,000 email database and just blast. So I remember the first time was it Chivita, one of those companies. An Indian man called and say, hello, come to our office. I say, 419, you people. I'm smarter. So I said, maybe I said one of my colleagues. If anything happened, so I said one of my colleagues, and he went there only to be sitting with a lot of their directors, and they were asking questions. They want to say up to 100 million worth of, email and SMS campaign. This is real because I just bought that database. I didn't even know the caliber of people who were there. Cut the long story short, of course, before you know it, all of these top people, I was able to access directly some of these, decision makers, and we started. And then social media came, of course, we blast all through 2014. I was on every group that has large following. I would just post and post and I was banned many times. And unknowing to me, people who matter were saying. And before you know it, different, even those who were campaigning for elections, everybody, we became almost number one really because we handled all the two major presidential campaign in terms of SMS and email by 2015. So at that point, I felt, how long can we continue this particular business model, right? I went to, Silicon Valley, went to Google campus, Facebook campus, and that was when the reality of real estate dawned on me. Of course, I've been doing real estate as a broker and getting commission. But when I saw that Google campus was bigger than UI, Facebook campus, Apple, I was like, these guys are big on real estate. It's not just their software that made them who they are. And so I said to myself, we'll go back to real estate and then in future evolve back into tech. And it has worked. So you see that it's not just God.
Exactly, because that's why I had to ask that question. Because I've spoken with a lot of people and it's, oh, you know what, it's God's grace, it's God. I agree there's God, but there are some other things you need to do. I always tell people that God gave us a brain. God gave every human being a brain, and that's what distinguishes us from other animals. In fact, when you even watch animal documentaries, you will see that they have their own kind of sense. But
Yeah,
yes, but as a Homo sapien, as a higher being, you should be able to,
yeah,
use your brain to do something. So it's
absolutely.
that brain part I wanted to get out of here.
And I agree with you. I often say that mental laziness is one of the biggest problems of the black man, right? We're quite mentally lazy and we're physically hardworking, most of us, but that mental work isn't always there. And my advice is always whatever can trigger your mental work, put it to. For if it's music, in my own case, I told you I had to do a vigil praising God, and that triggered that mental, process. You can call it the Holy Spirit, you can call it whatever religion you practice, but the mental work is very critical to success in business. I agree with you absolutely.
Now, for a company that started with the bulk SMS services, how did you grow? I know I've caught a part of what you've just said right now, that you looked at it and said, no, this strategy will not sustain me. You looked at bigger companies, and bigger companies were also involved in real estate development. So how did you grow to other sectors? Because your company also is into finance and investment, like I mentioned, digital marketing, which you started 15 years ago, unknowingly that it will blow up to what it is right now. So how did you, transit gradually to these businesses, and how far they have come?
Well, it was tough. I recently posted on social media. I don't know if you saw it. The first day I took my staff to the first land we wanted to sell, right? Right there, you could see in their face that they felt I was crazy. Like, this just doesn't make sense. First of all, the land was waterlogged. Second of all, we are not even sampled to where our land starts. So we're using tweets to point to people to say our own land start, inside that place in Ikorodu. And it's important that young entrepreneurs understand this because you have to do the impossible with the available. Oftentimes you see people just wanting everything to be ready, to be perfect, and almost having low self-esteem because you are trying to compare yourself with other people. This is who you are. This is what you have at this moment. You have to be able to still find a way to convince people. I had to start doing research about land with water, only to discover that New York, right, Manhattan, is an island, waterlogged. London, divided by river. Paris, Dubai, right, having to do artificial island. And that singular discovery, again, mental work, helped in that regard. But how did we transition? I just saw that there was no way we can continue just with digital marketing and not and stay ahead. And I also realized that what really made companies big is their assets. And so when you're a digital marketing firm, as we were, you don't really have physical assets. And if you're not careful, something can change. I saw, in fact, during that time in 2015, I went to Apple, Yahoo, and Yahoo had been acquired I think I can't remember which company now, whether Verizon or AT&T. And if I while I visited Yahoo, they were changing the name on their campus, and I saw how what those companies were buying wasn't the Yahoo Mail as it were, because of course a lot of people were no longer using Yahoo Mail, but the physical asset that Yahoo had, right? So that opened me up to say, you know what, we needed to get into the real sector, particularly real estate now, and find a way to grow real asset so that even when we are, because all this software tech, I mean, you can see what's happening in Silicon Valley now. All this money is dried up. Even the banks are failing now. Okay, so if you had relied on, oh, we're gonna start this tech company, and then before you know it, we get people to start adapting and signing up, and then we'll go and do, valuation, we'll sell. I knew that wasn't gonna last forever, and that if we can build a real asset, when we now have softwares, we have enough liquidity to keep pushing that software till it becomes something big, something solid. And that's really what we've done. Now we're back in tech. I mean, this year and next year, we're going to be doing a lot. We're now doing funding for startups. We started our VC company, though we've not started taking people, but very soon that's what's going to happen between the end of this year and next year, to start investing in small businesses. But now we have that, back that capital base to now even be the one investing in startups rather than the other way around.
You recently came up with a plan for GText Dubai property development. I would like you to speak to me about that.
Yeah, so when we moved to Dubai 3 years ago, the first thing we started was more of property management. We currently control over 100 properties in Dubai, because we realized that a lot of people were investing in the Middle East, didn't have an African-owned company they could work with, and some of them needed returns on investment. You bought a house, you need tenants to pay you money. You don't even have a bank account in Dubai. So how do you get back your return on investment? And so when we moved in, it was easy for a lot of people to connect with us and say, hey, our own is here, we could trust them, we could work with them. We also were into brokerage, so we helped a lot of people acquire their own properties and also help them manage it. But we've always known that development was what we wanted to do. And so now we're about starting a 180 unit of 2 bedroom in Dubai, and that positioned us to be the first African-owned company to do that, at least publicly owned company, because you could have people maybe have shares or interest in other companies, and we're excited because this is gradually helping to redeem our image as a race, as a country that our people can do business properly, can put themselves together, can legitimately, run businesses. And I think if we have done more of this, some of the treatment we've had internationally, maybe we wouldn't have had that much, because economies are looking for people who will come in and not just sap their jobs, right? But also create jobs, but also invest in their own economy, and also help their own economy to grow. And when they see people, and not just consumers now, but producers in their own economy, there's a lot more respect for people from such plan. And that's what we're pioneering. We hope we keep growing.
How long will it take to complete this 180 units of two-bedroom apartments, and why did you choose this category of housing units?
Yeah, so 2 bedroom is highly, I mean, Dubai before now used to be, let's just go for vacation and then we're out, or even when you want to work, maybe your family will be somewhere else and you're just the only one in Dubai. So then studio were doing well, 1 bedroom was doing well, but now people are moving to Dubai as a family because it's one of the safest cities in the world. So 2 bedroom are becoming really, really scarce now, and so we decided to go into that, and we're happy focusing on that. And for for us is that we're hoping that in the next 4 years, even though construction itself will be 2 years, the first 6 months, all the proper regulatory processes, and then construction 2 years, and then 6 months for snagging, and then 1 year for marketing. So by 2027, it should be delivered, but we definitely are planning to even deliver before that timeline.
Now, apart from what you've just told me, is there any other unique selling point? Is there any other thing that is appealing about what you're doing right now? And even as you do it in Dubai, are you considering doing similar projects here in Nigeria? Though that I know that you also have your roots here, are you considering doing something like that in Nigeria?
Yes, yes, definitely we have to do in Nigeria. We have a new program called the Celebrity, Branded Housing, and we're looking at, which is quite unique. We're looking at partnering with Afrobeats, footballers, top celebrities, actors, and actors. Like, for example, a Davido residencies, a T.Y. Savage residency, a Burna Boy, where they work with our architects to design the interior to have a feel. How do you want your house to look like as a celebrity? And then working with our team to design something like that, and then making that available to your followers, to your fans to be able to buy. So now I'm buying a property. It's not just having value of the real estate, it's also having that brand of that particular celebrity. And Nigerians don't joke with their celebrities, and not just Nigerians. I mean, we can see how people are selling out. Even in Dubai, they come to Coca-Cola Arena. Shake was there recently and sold out. So we are hoping to leverage on that. That also helps to position our artists, our celebrities, as entrepreneurs as well. And for us, we're also looking at who are business-minded celebrities, because sometimes you could have celebrities who just don't understand that there's difference between entertainment and business, right? And the way you approach business is a little bit different from entertainment at its core. There has to be a lot of discipline. There has to be a lot of commitment. It's not that you promise to do something and then you don't do it. So we hope to eventually work with told our team to start helping us to check who among these guys are very business friendly, and have that mindset, because this is something you can trademark and becomes a major big business. Rihanna has been in music for how many years? She never became a billionaire, right? In
Until
two,
she
three
ventured
years of
into
being
beauty.
exactly
Yeah.
in beauty business, she's
Mm.
over $2 billion worth in less than 4 years or so. So that's what can happen with our celebrities as well. But we hope we can get some of them who are very business conscious.
I like this idea when you talked about celebrities, because majority of or some celebrities actually even go broke when the lifespan of what they are doing expires, and
Exactly.
if they've been so indisciplined with their
Yeah.
finances and they go down, we know the likes of Mike Tyson. There are a lot of them
Yeah.
like that.
Exactly.
So for Nigerian
Yeah.
celebrities that are making it right now, perhaps they
Mhm.
should be investing their money. I had a small pep talk with one of the popular musicians, I think about
Mhm.
6 years or 4, 5 years ago, when he came on the show. And we were just
Mhm.
leaving. And he asked me, he said, Nancy, just give me one advice. And I told him, this is your buoyant period right now. Invest your
Mhm.
money, use your money well,
Mhm.
because you may not all the time be in that
Mhm.
top music space, especially musicians.
Exactly.
The life cycle is so
Exactly.
small. If you don't have a hit,
Yeah.
it seems that people forget you. So,
Mhm.
so this is a very good idea. So let's see what the celebrities that will come on board with you for this
Yeah.
idea. Now, are the housing
Yeah.
units on purchase right now? Are they for purchase right now?
No, hopefully in the next 6 months we'll make them available for purchase. However, we have private investors working with us at the moment. Because again, we're not yet talking to any banks I mean, up till today, 15 years later, we've not taken any single loan in all
Mm.
our businesses across the world. Not that we're against it. We've just enjoyed so much private investors, trusting us and working with us to always fund most of our projects. So we have a lot of that going on at the moment. But for selling the unit itself, hopefully in the next 6 months, we will make that available.
Now, as you're celebrating 15, many people in many cultures will actually say that as one hits the age of 15, that it seems you're coming into puberty gradually. You've been able to diversify into a few areas. Are there other areas you're looking at to really go into?
Yeah, so I've transitioned from CEO to chairman now. We have a new CEO, over 20 years experience in construction. He'll be operating from Dubai, Nigeria. And that gives me opportunity to also be able to work with our VC. We're also looking at entertainment, so we should be shooting our first movie this year. So there's a whole lot. I may not be able to disclose all of them, but there's a lot of I think I don't really enjoy the day-to-day operations
Yeah.
of a business. I enjoy starting it, making it profitable, and then move on. And for me, I have so many areas I'm interested in, and I'm excited for new phase.
Over the last 10 years, we've seen that real estate market has been on the surge. Do you anticipate a slowdown? And what can one do, perhaps, that has money right now to invest or that is even thinking of, with my small money, how do I start?
Well, there's a lot people can do. Again, real estate is still a big deal. I don't want anyone to joke with it, particularly in Nigeria. I almost can kneel down and beg anyone to invest in real estate. And one of the reasons because the data has shown that Nigeria will have by the year 2100, according to Washington Post, and it's online. People can Google it. Nigeria will have almost eighth largest city in the world. That's almost insane, right? Lagos will actually be the largest by 2100, according to Washington Post, in the world, holding between 80 to 90 million people. So it means that even if you have just 200 square meter in any of these 8 locations, you are definitely a billionaire in the next 30 to 50 years to come. So I really think people need to look back and take investing. I understand the challenges we face as a nation. I understand the regulatory issues. Sometimes politicians are not helping us, but it's a phase and we will overcome. And the good news is also that I've said this even before the election that the three top candidates were business-friendly people. And so the president-elect, you're going to see, and he understands real estate very well. I mean, he was governor of Lagos. And so you're going to see real estate really grow. So don't wait because that's wasting. And then later you begin to like, oh, I can't afford it. Find a way. I mean, there are ways you can, have flexible payments plan now. There are credible companies you can work with. You don't necessarily need to say you want to do the bigger locations. You can also look at locations where development are moving to. So it's not compulsory you must start with Metama or Sokoro if you're in Abuja, or start with but even in Bejileki is now really tough to afford. So maybe you want to go to Badagry, maybe you want to go to Ikorodu. But of course, make sure you're dealing with credible companies. We currently have over 30 estates in Nigeria, and our vision is to grow it to 200 and to build 25,000 green and smart home by the year 2035. So we're not joking with Nigeria at all.
Okay, okay. Let me ask you these questions because we will be leaving very soon. The last
Yeah.
time we spoke, you spoke to me about your Stephen Akintayo Foundation grant. I'd like to know what
Yes.
the update is on it, 5,000 US dollars. Then you've authored 3 new books. I know you have a book, The Billionaire Habits, too. Are you still writing? Do you still have time for writing? How do you do this, really? Because I know what I'm struggling with right now. you know.
I have a formula, so I can work with you for your book. Actually,
Okay.
I have a very easy, exciting formula. I'm actually in the US for my book signing. We're doing tomorrow Houston. I'm currently in Houston, And then Sunday we're doing Dallas signing. And then on Tuesday we're doing Atlanta to sign the latest 3 books. It's the Billionaire series. But as regards to our ability to do all of these things when it comes to books, what I do is I turn them to videos. So once we set up the chapter by chapter, I then do video series. And then I have a team that transcribe and a team of editors. And that has been one of the easiest. And I work with people for this as well, where I will interview them. My team then transcribe, edit for them. And we even do a book launch. We even try to see a way where we're marketing the book before it's actually out. And the way I also do, I partner with Amazon, so I don't spend so much money printing books that people are not ordering. So as people, for example, for the signing in Houston, I just ordered author's copy. It has arrived before I got here, and we're able to hopefully sell everything. I mean, the ones we had in London, we just finished London last Saturday. We sold everything. So it's a very, very effective strategy that we've been able to come up with, and I'm super excited. I think I missed your first question.
The $5,000 grant, very quickly.
Yeah, so I mean, that's been going on amazing. January we had Agric, and they got their money. I think now we're doing manufacturing and health. So every month we've been giving out $5,000 to 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and it's been going great. I've also not just given the money; we've also been doing mentorship with them, helping them to really understand how to scale, because it's not just about money. It's
Yeah,
a lot about
exactly.
business beyond just money. Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Akitayo, I will take what you have told me now, so I will reach you later to see how you can help
Please.
me, yes, do that,
Yes.
and,
Yeah.
and let's see, because part of it is that sometimes you may not know all the things. You've got to speak to those that.
You need to write a book. Come on, Haba. You should have written like
Many books, isn't it?
I'm telling you.
Please, oh, you are joining the retinue of people that have been telling me this. I've been working on it, but okay, now that
I will. So let me commit on national television. I charge for it, but I'm not going to charge for you, and we're going to do the book
thank you.
as long as you're ready to make yourself available.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And I've taken that challenge. I'll talk to you later. Thank you very
Thank
much. It's
you.
always nice speaking with you. And I hope you enjoyed
Thank
your
you.
session with me today. And congratulations
Yeah.
again. We'll celebrate
Yeah.
2025, 50 years with
Amen.
you.
Amen.
Thank
Amen.
you very
Thank you.
much and for all that you do. Thank you. All right, that's the much we can take on today's edition of the program. I've been speaking with Dr. Stephen Akintayo, who is the founder and chairman of GText Holdings. You heard him say he's transitioned from being the chief executive officer. That is one thing also about business. As your business grows bigger, you transit into other things. I hope that you've learned so much from today's edition of the program. I'll see you all again next week. Have a lovely weekend. Be the best you can be and be the change that you want to see. I am Nancy Naji. Bye now.